Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is day 6 of Skiathos in January and what turned out to be the hottest day of all. It ended up reaching 21 degrees this day. It was absolutely gorgeous. We started the morning off by going to Mint, which is on the road towards the airport. It wasn't overly warm at this point in the day, and we did get questioned by the waitress a couple of times when we decided to sit outside, but we wanted to enjoy the views while we had our breakfast. So I ordered a fresh orange juice, and I think Mark did as well. He got the full English breakfast, and I got this massive pancake stack. As you can see, it was a little bit breezy, but it wasn't cold at all. We'd only been here for drinks before, but we really loved the food. It was really nice, and we did end up coming back again before we left this time. We wandered along towards the end of the airport runway and saw the ducks and the gorgeous black swan that's always hanging about there. Mark was a bit concerned here because he thought they were coming to attack me, but I think they were just coming to say hello. You can often see white swans around the beaches of Skiathos. They tend to hang around the sort of Maratha beach, Trulos beach, that sort of end of the island, but this black swan is always near the airport. It often swims along to Milo's taverna as well, which is a great spot for watching the planes, and she always sits in the water next to your table and begs for food. She's lovely. So if you do come plane spotting any time when you're in Skiathos, make sure to look out for the swan as well. And of course there's cats as well. There's usually a couple of cats hanging around this part of the water. This one was super friendly, really cute with his little moustache there. After seeing the animals, we drove back into town and had a little wander around the streets and up Papadiamanti Street. I filmed a little bit of stuff to show you what was open, what was still closed, that kind of thing. And just as I was walking round here towards the Hakuna Matata bar, I could see a lot of work going on, so I filmed that for you. I'm not sure whether they're changing it up altogether or if this is the structure that's always there under the decking. Not too sure about that one, but I'm really interested to see what they've done with this when I go back in April. I'll add a little bit of music onto the video now just while I walk up Papadiamanti Street and show you what's open and what's not, and you get a good idea of what's about in January. A few of the locals had told us that once Epiphany was over we would start to see places reopening and a little bit more activity around the island, so I was excited to walk up here and see where else was opening up. I'll pop some music on now. If you want to skip this part, feel free, but if you want to have a look at Papadiamanti Street, I'll catch up with you when I get to the end of the road.
Γεια σου Χρήστο, Νικολόπουλε. Παίξε Χρήστο, επιβόντος είναι το ρυθμό. Χρέος στο χώρο να πούμε εθνικό, να χορεύσουν τσιφτετέλοι όλοι οι λαοί. Ιαπωνέζοι, Αμερικάνοι, Σουηδοί, έλα! Έλα γλυκερία βόητα! Αμάν! Η χαρανάνε στο σύνθημα κι ο καημός το παρασύνθημα. Λόγες μυστικές μ' αγγίζουνε κι οι πυροσβέστες ρε σας στίζουνε. Στη γλυκερία μου αγάπη μου, έλα Νικολόπουλε. Πες Μανώλη την κουβέντα εκείνη τη στρωτή, στο χώρο να ξεστρατήσουν κι η στρατή να χορεύσει και η φάρα το για χρυσοφό. Στην Ακαδημία μέσα Αθηνών. Έλα παιδιά, έλα! Η χαρανάνε στο σύνθημα κι ο καημός το παρασύνθημα. Λόγες μυστικές μ' αγγίζουνε κι οι πυροσβέστες
Γεια σου Νικολόπουλε.
Κούκλα μου. Γεια σου Χρήστο Νικολόπουλε. Ο μεγαλύτερος Έλληνας συνθέτης και η μεγαλύτερη επίγονος τραγουδίστρια, η Αρετή και τη Με. Εμείς οι δύο θα σε αναλάβουμε, μου φαίνεται. Έλα, όπα. Σας στήσουνε. Έλα.
Σε όλες τις νύχτες κι είδα μια γόησα τα μασπαθά του να είναι στο πλάι σου σε ένα κρεβάτι. Ελένη μας. Βάζεις φωτιά στο σπίτι μας και
θα το κάνεις τάχτη.
Θα το κάνεις τάχτη. Μα θα της βάλω γρήγορα τις
τρέλες σου σε ταξί.
Τις τρέλες σου σε ταξί. Πήγα σε μάγισσες, σε χαρτορίχτερες να δω που χάνεσαι όλες τις νύχτες. Όπα, έλα, έλα. Γεια σου παιδιά. Σε καφετσούδες και μου πανέπλεξες με μπελαλούδες κι είδα τη γόησα μες στο φλιτζάνι να θέλει μάτια μου να με ξεκάνει. Βάζεις φωτιά στο σπίτι μας και θα το κάνεις τάχτη. Μα θα τις βάλω γρήγορα τις τις τρέλες σου σε τάξη. Πήγα σε μάγισσες, σε χαρτορίχτερες να δω που χάνεσαι όλες τις νύχτες. Ωπα, γεια σου, γεια σου. Έλα.
By sort of lunchtime, the weather was really starting to warm up this day, so we decided to hop in the car that we rented and have a little drive about and stop off at some beaches again. You can see it's getting much brighter and sunnier this day. It was absolutely glorious. We just had t-shirts on and we're very comfortable. We were really loving having the car again. We always hire a car when we do go to Skiathos, but this was the first time I think we'd had one for our entire trip. We did need it in January because, like I say, there wasn't much open and we like to do a bit more exploring, but we're definitely going to hire again when we go. We've booked up for April and we've already got our vehicle booked. This was a first for us. We've been to Skiathos 8 or 9 times now and we've never seen goats in the middle of the road. We've seen them in the mountains, but not stood in the road like this as though they're thinking, what on earth are you doing on our road? It was really funny. It did make us laugh. This was just at the top of the turn off to Canna Pizza. Yeah, that really made my day. I thought that was hilarious. We drove all the way along to where Alivi Hotel is, right at the opposite end of the island, because we were looking for Banana Beach. We've never actually found Banana Beach and I think this is it. We did spot it, I believe. I hope that's it anyway, because we've spent a lot of time trying to get to it. We find it really difficult to get to, so if anyone's got any tips on how to get there, please let me know. We didn't make our way down this time because of Mark's Achilles, but April, that's on our plan to head down to that beach, so let me know if it was the right one. Instead, we decided to go to Maratha Beach, which is a beach we absolutely love in the summer. This was a little bit easier on foot for Mark. It's still a steepish hill, but it's a much shorter hill, so we decided to walk down to this one and see what it's like. If you've ever been to this beach, you'll know it's one of the more sort of fancy, luxurious kind of beaches, and once again in January it doesn't look much at all. It's totally different, but it was really interesting to walk down and have a look, see what it was like this time of year. Much more natural looking. All the beach bar, everything had been packed away. Obviously no sunbeds or anything like that, and unfortunately no geese. I do enjoy spotting the geese down on these beaches, but they weren't there to see this time. Nevertheless, it was still very beautiful. The sun was in the sky, the sand was looking quite golden, it was lovely and warm, and once again we had the beach completely to ourselves. There was no one else around. It was lovely. On the way back up towards the car, we did notice some work getting done on this villa, which is just on the side of the path down towards the beach. It looked amazing. I've tried to Google it and find out what the hotel, if it is a hotel, is called, but no luck so far. So if you know what that is, please let me know. We made our way back up the hill. Poor Mark. Try not to laugh. Him hobbling up ahead of me there. And then we got back in the car and drove along to one of my favourite beaches. It's the first beach we ever visited in Skiathos, and I think it's called Romalos, something along those lines. It's where you find Porto Paradiso Bar. It's got a place in my heart, this beach. I think it's one of the most beautiful beaches on the island. Again, very natural looking. It doesn't look like this in the summer. It looks totally different, but I think I prefer it like this. It was absolutely gorgeous, and as you can see there, we weren't the only ones on this beach. There was 2 people swimming in the sea, and I have to take my hat off to them because we dipped our toes in the sea. It was freezing. Even though it was hot, Mark actually took his top off and did a little bit of sunbathing on this beach. That sea was freezing. But I do think it's quite clear to see just how gorgeous this beach is. Obviously in the summer this is all full of tables, chairs, there's music, there's shops in this part, there's loads of lovely places to sit and eat and drink and relax. But I actually think I prefer it this way. Sharing this beach with next to no other people. It just felt very special, it felt very private, and I absolutely loved it. And I think you might be able to tell why this is one of my favourite beaches on Skiathos. I could quite happily only ever come to this beach ever again in Skiathos. I think I do love it that much. I got a little bit of video footage of Mark actually going into the sea. I think those other people were showing off because they pretty much just dived straight in, and I think you can see from that reaction there how cold it was. It wasn't possible. I wasn't getting in there at all, but yeah, he just wanted to prove a point and at least get his toes in, but you can see him saying to those people there, absolutely no chance of him diving in that water. I was quite happy just to stand back and film this beautiful scene. It was just gorgeous. He wasn't happy, was he? But I was very happy and I loved it, and I could have stayed here all day. But we decided to head back to the car, said goodbye to those very brave Greek people who were swimming in the sea, and then we made our way back to Papadiamanti Street, where we found another bakery that we ended up loving. It was that Grandpa's Oven one, which I mentioned in a previous video, right at the top of Papadiamanti Street, and Mark got himself this Black Forest Gateau cake. He said it was beautiful. He didn't want to share any of that with me. This is the bakery, so watch out for that when you're there. Highly recommend it. And after eating cake, we headed down to the port to sit in the sun and soak it up because it was still lovely and warm. It was much stiller than it had been and much calmer down the front than what we've been used to in January. We were sat at our Contico and we got a couple of drinks, and I found a cat friend who pretty much fell asleep on my knee and spent about 2 hours sat on me there. We had to kick it off in the end because we wanted to go, because we sat there the whole time with it asleep on my knee until the sun went down, and then it got freezing, so we did have to make it get down. But I couldn't think of a better place to watch the sunset over the top of these buildings with my new little friend on my knee and a couple of drinks. It was just perfect. All of this stuff combined, I think, made this day one of my favourite days of the whole trip. I loved it. The warmth, the sunset, the beaches, the little cat. It was lovely. And then once we left the port, we went for some food. We'd come across a place called Antama Mez, which was open the whole time we were there, and it was very popular with the Greeks. We were given a bread basket, and then we shared the zucchini fritters to start. This was them. It was like feta cheese and zucchini inside fried little dumplings. They were so tasty. And for main, Mark got the orzo pasta with shrimp, and I got the lamb cooked in the oven. I think I won because my meal was absolutely stunning. But we both agree this is a place we're going to go back to again and again because it was just delicious. So definitely add this to your list if you're looking for places to go when you visit.